filth. In the meanwhile, though, MIBR have lost the second player, all stacked in connect.
tears Overpass away from them down the stretch, and now on Inferno. Astralis are very dominant on this map.
They sure are. That's why coming into this, we felt that MIBR really needed to pick up that first map to have a solid chance. But who knows, we're in the semi-finals of the major. An IEM event, so much history behind it. History to be forged by one of these two teams. And the early aggression up Banana may yield some kills, but Zipex, he definitely heard the footsteps. He definitely can hear Phelps around the corner, but Dupree's going to take the kill away from him. The result is the same, though, and Astralis will pick up the first blood.
What a risky play to make in the pistol on this map. That is intense. Taco is alone at A, and he's already been tagged down to 15. That's going to force Fallen to bust up this B and rotate over. Astralis already in round one, just manipulating the map in their favor. Taco's going to switch positions. He's going to go over towards the B bomb site. They want 3 players there. They believe this is going to be the final destination for Astralis in this round, and looks like they're correct.
Flash lined up for the CT side. Taco hasn't been affected by it. Nearly blocks the smoke, but it's still going to plume in his face, so he can't really hold on. There are 3 players, though, at the back of the B side, one of which has been found and alleviated away. And can hold the line with 2. If he flicked to that third, the crowd would have lost their minds. It's still 2-on-3, though, and Fallen's dropped the bomb. Astralis now, they're in trouble. Taco in a really solid position. So important that Dupree plants up on the coffins. He's shown anything he would have been fragged, and it's going to be going down anyway to the hands of Taco from the backside. Now 4 hits all that remains. The Mage just finds the headshot. It was such a strange back and forth round, but Astralis just about hold on.
Fallen had to have just never suspected that Magisk was just going to slide out like that and be aggressive. He catches him completely off guard. An otherwise beautiful round from MIBR, just clinging, just holding on for what they can. This was a great sequence. I'm not sure why Glaive bailed out of the bomb site with the bomb later on, but that almost ruined everything. They got punished by that on Overpass by a very curious late round decision, and they almost do one here in the pistol, but either way, they do get the win. That's all that matters. MIBR are going to buy up into this. Astralis won both pistols on Overpass. They have the first pistol here on Inferno.
What can they do with it, though? MIBR with a healthy dosage of weaponry early on. And grenades, 4 smokes. They can bide their time for quite a while. It's going to be based on calls, though. Fallen up close with the scout. But it's going to be B that's getting pressured from 3 of Astralis' players.
This is a really tough hit for Fallen to hit if he has to flick over towards Boiler. As he appears takes a more shallow angle, and this is just a make sure that all the utility, all the smokes are taken to attack. And now grouping up towards mid. Flashbang, Fallen's got to fall away. And there's not a whole lot of players here to really mount a defense on this bomb site. It's 1 player, Taco, guarding halls and lane, and then Fallen guarding rap side against 5. They must do it all.
It's late test, but fortunately it wasn't firepower to deal with it. And the site is being crushed. The collapse onto A is successful. MIBR want to hold on to these guns, so Astralis will take the second round. Just being careful, ensure that no other CTs lurking around the outskirts of the site. Now they've realized that's not the case. They're already sending players over towards the other side of the map now. Dupree, he wants blood. He wants to take some of these guns away. Needs to be careful what he wishes for. To walk into Phelps with a CZ, but it's only a MAC-10.
Yeah, Device wants nothing to do with this. He sees that peek from the bomb site. There's no reason for him to move forward. Let him have whatever they keep. 2-0 for Astralis. Actually, the rest of them are coming in now. There's the flash. They're isolated alone. There's oranges. They've got to swing from the other angle. It's not going to happen just yet. And actually now, Astralis right at the end of this game. Phelps with a MAC-10 kill, and he disappears into the smoke. And that is going to be it. So 2 kills, 2 salvaged weapons for MIBR. They're not going to be unhappy with that. They'll be able to pass a pistol over or one of the MAC-10s. Or the 1 MAC-10 in the UMP. So a little bit of danger still. A little bit of something to fight with for MIBR. There's that crowd. There's that Brazilian corner. Portuguese corner.
Very supportive corner it is too. Additionally, Phelps did get a kill with a MAC-10. So his money was up to 3,100. So you can actually afford a smoke and a HE. HE's just gone out. Not going to yield anything in return.
When the guns come out, MIBR is going to have to find a way to fight for some of this map control. You cannot, on this map, just let Astralis have whatever they want. They're so very good at moving across the map and aggressively taking portions of it. So you're going to want that offense fall, and you're going to want them to be able to control Banana. That's a good dink against the wall, so Dupree, actually, it's pretty superficial, but coldzera finishes him off from behind. Now an AK-47 in Fallen's hands, and he might have to get aggressive to try and make a play to try and Fallen takes too long for that kill. Glaive with a solid trade. And now MIBR just has to cross their fingers and hope that Astralis comes to the B-bomb site. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, it stands to reason if you have 2 or 3 players pushing down mid, it's unlikely you've got the rest of them playing passively on A. So they made the correct call. They're going to make a move over onto the A side, get the free plant, and a 3-0 lead. However, keep in mind the overpass went the same way. Astralis started off with a 4-0 lead, and it started to crumble around them. MIBR, once that rifle round comes into play, that's where the game truly starts. It's not a huge amount to save here, honestly. They don't have Kevlar behind either Fur or Taco.
The best thing they can hope, I mean, Fur might just save that UMP. You can use that weapon in a gun run. The MAC-10, not so much, so I think Taco's just going to get in position, maybe get lucky and grab an AK-47 off Glaive. He's obviously very aware of this possibility. And with the HP and armor, he can just survive and pit with the rest of his teammates. So Taco may try and hunt that down right away. Glaive is just too smart for it.
Yep, had 2 teammates watching the site. No reason to have 3 sets of eyes over that. To save. Dosia is not on the map. There is no HE flying their way into pit.
No need to worry. Dosia is not here. They're all fine.
Crisis averted.
So 3-0, first gun round coming in. Fur does keep that UMP in his hands. And AUGs surround it. There's no AWP on the board. Actually, excuse me, Fur drops it right at the last second. So they have 1 kit on coldzera. If they need a retake, he must be involved. MIBR's first chance to get into Inferno. And they must have this map. Taco and coldzera playing at the A-bomb site. 3 players at top Banana to control on the defensive side. And Astralis, I think this round playing it passively, maybe just seeing what kind of utility is going to be thrown out for the Brazilians. Taking notes for the future. They're already up mid, and they go through their own smokes, and actually this is an attack. It's only coldzera. Taco, your Taco's blocked off by the smoke. Has to do something. Great trades, and MIBR just cannot stem the tide. Shock and all from Astralis. And I don't even know if they can go for this. Certainly not now. As the bird falls, the damage is so low. Now they have a chance. Now they're close enough. Dupree and Zipnix. What can you do with such low HP?
Solid smoke and flash though. It's going to keep the position.
Oh my god.
So fortunate to get away with that. In the smoke, Dupree. All of his 9 lives and still lands a kill. That is unreal. Zipex on the approach, catches Phelps with a grenade out. And Astralis are going to get the 4-0. But the lock on Dupree surviving there. If he goes down, it's a 2-on retake. It's so unlikely that Zipex takes both plays in a single spray. Yeah,
especially with low HP. And look at coldzera's position. He was the one with the kit, so he does fall. That kit is up on the balcony from his body. Even if that retake happens, even if Phelps is able to find Zipnix, the time would start becoming a factor in that one-on-one duel. Astralis pull off the unexpected, while MIBR has 3 players spending time controlling Banana and Car. Astralis win the round elsewhere. There's a low percentage fight, if I've ever seen one. Fur. Close up with the deagle, but There's 3 players. Utility, there's the flashbang, but Magisk wasn't blind. It was behind him. And Astralis gonna march forward to what looks to be another round, a 5th round.
Phelps able to at least silence Device, but he's gonna catch a face full of shrapnel in return. Maybe he'll get the one thing. He's not gonna miss out. And Taco will at least make his Desert Eagle stand for something. He won't stand for a round win, though. Down, finds him, frags him, 5-0.
Well, 5-0. We're gonna get a bit of a pause right at the start of this round. But Astralis looking very clean, very clinical. They look like they want to go straight into the grand finals. MIBR on this side of the map as well. Normally expected to put up the bigger numbers on your defensive side, and they need to get into the action quick because this is going to slip away very quickly if Astralis is just able to continue this tear. So much money being built up by the Danish side as well.
It's of course the same map that MIBR really struggled against on Cloud9 back at the start, but that was on the T half. The CT side had moments of glimmers. It was that T half that really let them down, so that's what's worrying me at this stage.
Yeah, the problem too is you just need more than glimmers, right? You need something that you can really rely on. And even if you go back to Overpass, the CT side there, they couldn't get a hold of their defense on that map either. Their selection, so some troubles on the defense. Just so you know as well, some of the obstacles in the uphill battle that MIBR have. Astralis at the moment are on a 13-0 win streak on this map.
They have quite a few records, Jason.
Yeah, they really are starting to pile on.
Nuke, of course, is another one.
That's a streak that might never be broken on any map.
I believe we are in a technical timeout for the time being. Can tell you that MIBR, of course, have a full purchase. Will not include an AWP, only the 1 kit, but 4 AUGs and an M4. So plenty of firepower and grenades behind that.
Yeah, they're going to be situated nicely when this game resumes to at least fight. They still haven't been able to get the AWP out. I think that might be the big thing that they can rely on, because you can put Fallen, if you can post him up at car, cheat a player over towards that A bomb site, and then you can start making him mobile across the map, giving them looks with the AWP at A. Renegades knocked out by MIBR in the quarterfinals. NIP knocked out by Astralis as the path to get here to this moment. And the winner playing Ents, a surprising story. I'm amazed at how much this Katowice crowd has gotten behind Ents as these underdogs that have just marched through this event.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure whoever wins this game is going to be certainly not the favorites in the crowd. I think Ents will still have that crown.
Well, we are going to get things underway, and I just want to know, I was surprised at the start. Who here is rooting for Astralis? Do we have any MIBR fans still with us? All right, not bad. A little leaning towards Astralis, and they have that 5-0 lead. Going into round 6, Fur going to get aggressive, and that is scary. No one offered up to him at the moment. More banana control coming out. Smokes and Molotovs being traded by each team. AG's coming deep in. Pretty decent chip on a Magisk, but he's not going to shy away. He's been aggressive. He's been stellar in this series. And this is wild. MIBR used all their utility of the B defenders off of that bomb site, trading positions with Fur and Fallen. That left the B bomb site very exposed. Obviously, not too often you'll see an offensive team kind of take a super fast stance on that, but that's a risk. That could have been just a free route if the Astralis just moved forward.
Yeah, especially after a bit of a lull in the action after a timeout. Progression, so it was looking a little bit shaky, but now normal resumed.
Well, now I mean, that it pays off for MIBR. The B defenders have, more smokes. Fallen has a Molotov, so they have a couple things that can delay any kind of late round set piece. There's no idea. Phelps is going to seize the gun barrel, though. Glaive is have to get out of that position. But Phelps was in a moment of danger there.
This is where Astralis can be a little bit more free. They have such a buffer of rounds. MIBR are going to feel the pressure of every single duel, every single frag that goes against them. What a shot by Phelps! Headshot into chest.
He didn't spot this though. It's Fallen who's going to have to keep his eye out for it, which means Fur is going to be exposed. That Molotov has been used. That's a big kill. Fur's got a Molotov himself. There's the counter flash, but he's got gun out Fur. He's going to hold on. MIBR might be getting their first round, but Device is still alive. But there's only 8 seconds. They're going to have to back away from this. I don't know if there's time. There's the kill, and the boost up is going to stop this. Device needs to kick the hell out, but they're going to chase him. They don't have a lot of money, but they want to bait out a shot. It doesn't come, so Phelps backs away. MIBR on the board finally on Inferno.
A lot of excellent angles working out for the Brazilians. And Phelps with that spicy shot from Library.
Yeah, that was pretty dirty. I'm surprised. I think he was even surprised he hit that first bullet.
Unfortunate too, because if he doesn't land that, 2 players are through an arch, maybe Fallen can't spray them both. There is the shot. That is absolutely nutty. Defense court just trying to force the bomb down.
Yeah, only thing he could have done at that moment. Matches now. Edge of the flames. Steps in front of the AG, but Device eats it instead. That was a deep raid. That money that Astralis is building up has been whittled down. And same thing again for MIBR. The initial defenders of the B bomb site being traded off. Fur and Fallen step into their place with the smoke Molotov combo. Trying to confuse the communication, confuse the read of Astralis. They'll be calling out as that B. 1 Molotov, 1 smoke is used. Just so Glaive has an idea for the late rounds, but this swap of defenders could really skew that read.
Phelps got the same result, but only twice as effective. Glaive and Dupree laid to rest. Excellent passage of play for MIBR. And with Device so low on his AWP, they can't afford to take any chances here, Astralis. They're going to have to be pushing forward. And there's a smoke to deny them.
That'll take us to just below 20 seconds left in the round. And do they really want to try and break into this bomb site? I think the answer is no. You can see them backing off. So there's that rotational strategy out of MIBR coming to fruition. It's going to net them their 2nd round, 2 in a row for MIBR, as Astralis don't want to fight. Not a whole lot of money as well, but with 3 weapons saved, Dupree and Glaive can get deagles, they can get CZs, they can have plenty of utility as they get the bonus money and their teammates do not. So you can still make something happen, and as we saw in an overpass, Astralis wins in a variety of ways.
That early rotation as well really could screw with Astralis' mind going through into the mid to latter portions of the round. When you're expecting those rotations to come in, they could just walk into crossfires expecting players to have like gaps in this defense.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams are going to be really intrigued to see how this plays out for the rest of this half. Because I think the end result of this eventually has to be maybe not doing that shift 1 round. And then all of a sudden Astralis trying to take advantage over towards A because they're saying, okay, if you're going to rotate them off, A is going to be weak late with no utility. And then all of a sudden you have those Molotovs in your face. We'll see, but there's an intriguing element of this game so far. Zipnix did not want to fight in the Molotov.
Slower pace in this round as a result of the nade damage, I'm sure, in round 7. This does leave Fur on his own. It's going to be more of an 8-sided stack over here. Confidence shown to Fur. Now they're going to start to make a move with a sweeper roll of Fallen. Standard 3-2 formation, but it's Coldzera that's just been winged down to 15 health. I believe that was from Device and his AWP.
Yeah, I mean, Coldzera takes the shot and just ignores it. Tries to go find more kills. Fallen still hasn't moved. Fallen and Fur now going to get aggressive towards B, and I think Device just saw. He saw his prey. That's Phelps. He cannot take a whole lot of steps. He is so restricted. If you flashback forces him back into the waiting arms. Device called it out, and now pressure on the A-bomb side. They're the only 2, and they must do it. Burning out into the open. Coldzera's already low. Not able to get back in time and nothing to be done. Device finishes him off from earlier. And Device opens up the end.
We're heading into a save. Astralis successfully stopped the 2-round streak of MIBR. An emphatic style as well, just straight out flashbang into execution.
And I mean, it's so magnificent to see because you don't need to have some super fancy set piece or strategy. It's just Device getting an angle. Bit of BM from Magisk. You do absolutely love to see it. But it's just simplicity. Device gets that angle towards small pit. Yeah, he spotted one out, but just one flashbang towards wrap side that causes him to just back away the smallest amount. And Device is able to punish.
It's a great call as well for the flashbang to force the first player out into the open, and Device will oblige with another couple afterwards. As a result of MIBR's save, though, they're going to have a very healthy investment. After this round, not so much, though. Falling down to $0. First, not much ahead of him at 200. At least we're seeing signs now of MIBR's CT side. Now we're seeing them land some shots.
Might be too late for just signs, though. Already down 6-2. If they get reset here, it might be all over before. There's the pop flash fallen. Just has to take a blind shot and back away. Mid control was almost there. Smoke goes up just at the right moment. But again, MIBR is able to, or I mean, excuse me, Astralis is able to gain control of Banana. We haven't really seen MIBR fight for it. We've seen those nades down, we've seen the Molotovs along the way, but we haven't seen any defense around the car, around the sandbags.
Yeah, I think the only round we saw was when Fallen had the MP9 and just charged out the Molotov into a firing squad. That's pretty much it. As you see, no, can't really counteractive grenades into control, as you say, which just gives up so much room for Astralis. They just chokes MIBR. They can't really fully get freed up.
It's a long time for MIBR to play without information about flash control. They might get caught out in the open, but it's Furry comes out on top of that one. Gonna stay towards CT spawn. Use that set piece. Smokes, Molotovs coming in. Perfect counter smoke. Phelps, he's got to hold the line.
So far, so good. 35 seconds. Play ball. He decides to press forward. Actually jumps over the He stalled for a very long time. 25 seconds remain. And Astralis, they're dipping out. They're going towards the A side. There's been no maneuverability at all. No movement. No sound over on B. MIBR, no. They've already trickled 2 players over, and Taco, opportunity, Coldzera's got down as well. Taco should be doing better.
Can he get in? Device, it's going to be so close. I don't know if he can get this. He does, right at the last moment. Device is going to be able to get this bomb planted, and a narrow one slips out of the grasp of MIBR. Now they must fight. They have no money left. They have to have this round.
They made the right call there, Moses, but the execution was just off. They could still salvage this round. With the kit, firepower is plentiful. But there's so many positions, so many close angles you have to watch out for. Fur is waiting. He wants Fallen to go and scout out first, but time is so scarce. They've got to move in right here, right now. If they're going to go for this defuse, it has to come in, and it's just going to backfire. Dupree with 2. Astralis moves to a 7-2 lead. And again, you go back to that spray on mid. That could have been the round ender.
Yeah, I think Taco was expecting a flashbang. You saw him look into the wall right before they turned that corner. This is so big. If the wrong kill, even that, I mean, Coldzera even gets the bomb planter. That's just a half second away from big plant. I'm not sure what this retake was. So deep into the bomb timer, and they didn't have a clue where anyone was at that point. I mean, you did have to go for it, but MIBR did not apply enough pressure early on to at least get a sense of where the post-plant positions were. And I think this might be the crack starting to show at MIBR. Such an experienced team and not going to go down without a fight, but I think they've given Astralis too many chances to build up a big lead.
Yeah, it did seem like death by indecision at the end. We've done better to just hold on to the guns and have something to play with on this one, but that's all in the past. In the here and now, MIBR truly up against it. Smoke and flash onto CT side. This is going to put Fur all alone. living in solitude. Now there's going to be 3 players around. They have a triple threat established from MIBR. The outside is it's just USPs. They do have a scout for Coldzera, trying his hand through the smoke. Headshot into frag from Burt, but Coldzera with the scouts goes down. The Taco, the only player pistol is in mid, and he's been found by Zipex. Could have no impact in the round at all.
There's only one last thing MIBR can really try and pull out of this defense, and unfortunately they just have never had the money for it. We still haven't seen an op out on Fallen. We know they like to play this map with a double op on Coldzera, and just no funds to make that happen. This has gone from bad to worse for MIBR, and I mean, we might want to see a timeout coming from their camp. Not going to get it this round.
Somewhat surprising. Got plenty to use.
I said they're going to fight to the end, Vince, but it feels like they're just not fighting in the right spot. You have to restrict the amount of map that you're giving Astralis. This smoke isn't going to do enough. As soon as this fades, if you're not there to battle or at least delay, it makes things so difficult. Astralis has been able to march up and execute on the B bomb site whenever they've wanted it. They've been able to march up and get bracket control whenever they've wanted it. They're going to have it again. Counter flash, great move, but immediately traded.
The bomb's still dropped back at T-Sport. They can't fully commit to anything at this stage. Maybe going to be able to keep some seconds, but Dupree is too fast on the trigger.
Nicely done from Fallen. That leaves Zipnix in a 1 versus 2, and as you said, the bomb's so far away. Can he somehow pull this off? Phelps is convinced that Zipnix is going to come from the A bomb site. He's not even looking towards lane, not even looking towards mid whatsoever. A big risk being taken. I'm not sure why Phelps might think he's in library or CT spawn, but he's very fortunate that Zipnix has taken the path that he has.
Of course, on the other hand, MIBR have no idea the bomb is back there. They haven't seen vision of it yet.
No, but the tough part is because Phelps is so convinced, Fallen was actually being pulled away. I don't know if Zipnix can actually win this round. Now he's spotted Fallen. Now they realize their mistake. He has the bomb. There's only 12 seconds. He must go to A. And there's no time for any of this. And at this point, you might as well just bail out and save the weapon. And he's going to find safety in the halls. So MIBR are going to win a round, but it's not pretty. But they'll take what they can get at this point.
Absolutely will. A mistake from Astralis is going to cost them dearly. If Zipex had control of the bomb, can start to play mind games. As we know, he is so good at pulling off. But 3 to 8. Life yet, perhaps, for MIBR. Taco's going to drop down to an MP9, affords him more grenades, but again, a distinct lack of AWP. Fallen just hasn't been able to get his hands on one. Their economy's never been in good enough shape. From MIBR. He's putting 2 players down there towards sandbags. Nade damage to Glaive and Device. They're going to back away. So for the first time, MIBR actually are going to establish some control over on this side of the map.
Device looking for it. Still focused, still aware of the possibility. Fallen crouching all the way back, and he's going to get away safely. Took a little bit of time off the clock, but didn't force any losses onto the Astralis side. A minute still remaining in the round. Astralis have control of Banana, they have control of brackets, and they have got plenty of nades. 4 smokes, a plethora of flashes, even a Molotov on Zipnix. What's the call here? Might fall into a mid to B split with all this room that they have. Glaive gonna put out a smoke, see what the response is. No one has eyes on this from MIBR. 35 seconds left now.
Trying to draw what remains of MIBR's nade count into play. Now, the set play is in motion. Solid Molotov's going to force a smoke out. This does skew the vision across from Astralis, though. From the shadows of the P9 spraying Coldzera. On it, Coldzera cleans it up. And MIBR will pick up a 4th round and a 2nd in a row.
Nice crossfire setup. Taco just hiding until the action begins. Peeks up at the right moment. And finally, I think MIBR, they've actually accomplished it. I think they're going to force Astralis onto a save, or a half buy at the very least. Nicely done from Taco. Even better spray control and spray transfer from coldzera. So MIBR still in this. They have upgraded pistols to go against, not a lot of nades.
That flashbang is absolutely spot on though. coldzera fully blinded. Didn't have anyone there to help him out. The CZ's not going to double up. Helps have been dropped to 40. This is more pressure than you'd expect from such a low investment. Starting to look a lot more bright though for MIBR now that some of the kills have been put down.
That was a huge kill from Phelps towards the B bomb site to really stop Device. If he goes down, Astralis just runs all the way back to B. There's a small crack in that smoke. It's actually come out on top of that. Spotted Zipnix first, gets the damage in with the rifle, falls away. Falls off, fight, take out Zipnix, but nope, doesn't spread in time. First aggressive behind it, finds and finishes that kill. And Dupree knows there's no point in going back for the bomb. The chances of him getting into a site and having a chance to plant are none. Fur shuts him down. 3 kills for the aggressive Brazilian rifler.
And speaking of aggression, I do wonder at this stage if MIBR are going to try and put more assertiveness on Banana, or particularly Apps. We haven't really seen them push Apps either. There's been a couple of rounds with pistols, but not with rifles.
Yeah, MIBR, yeah, true. They've had so much success elsewhere, maybe just haven't felt the need to really experiment with it. 8-5, but MIBR coming back in this. 3 in a row, trying to close out this half. They would love to get the 7th. And here we go. Oh, look at this call. Trying to suffocate, flashbang over the way, not prepared, not repaired, and Phelps only gets 1, but the response is magnificent. And now they can wrap behind. He's going to check this. He's going to do it with impunity. coldzera trying to hold on as long as possible. But again, the whole map, and now look at Zipnix just taking liberties. He's in pit, and Taco's stuck out in the open.
Smoke's not going to buy him up anytime either. Taco decides to press forward. If you're a player behind, you've got to take risks. But Magus finds him, pins him down, leaving coldzera with it all to do alone. 1 on 3, heads taken off. Astralis robbed to a 9-5 lead.
The communication of Astralis has to just be so good that they're able to know exactly how to maneuver in those scenarios. Unfortunate for Taco, he thinks Zipnix is all on his own, just trying to hold on to pit. Magis coming up lane just wrecks him. So now MIBR fights for 6. And the first time, I believe, that Fallen has been able to have the AWP, it's going to come out in this round. It's going to come out in round 15. It's just too late. We'll see what it can do. It has to have impact immediately.
Yeah, curious to see what he's going to do with it. Is he going to go for a fast play on Banana? Looks like it. There's a HE and a flashbang just before Hammer Device. It's a step ahead. MIBR would be wise to hold back. Furs might want some MP9 in hand. Not quite close enough to retrieve the AK. He may have to stand his ground and fight until the bitter end. He still so much wants it, and he's going to get the reward. Does lose 50% of his health, but with an AK, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, it's those long arms. Finally gets the reach. An advantage for MIBR, but running out of nades. Strong is so efficient with their own utility at taking Banana that they always have so much to play with no matter where they go in the late round. And here we go, another set piece Fallen. He has got a big decision to make. When those smokes come in, does he step in front or does he play for retake? Flashed off the angle. There's the smoke as they turn the corner. The boost has to be. He gets it falling down. He gets it with the follow-up. And now they're going to survive for the retake. A 5-on-3.
You have the answer to your question as well, Moses. He's going to play for the retake. Especially with a 2-player. Making a 3-player advantage. Looking good. Bob's still active, but will be in a few moments. These bullets whiz past his head. Device slots one between the eyes of Fur. Dupree and Device have to hold the line. Last round of the half. So much on. MIBR desperately require this, you have to feel, if they're going to go into this second half. On point, but so's Device is going to find one. So much damage to Cold Zero, and then Phelps, Orc in hand, silences Dupree, and MIBR. It's going to be very close, but they've got the defuse.
Yeah, they've got it. It's going to be 6 rounds for MIBR. They had to fight tooth and nail to get to this point, but they've gave themselves a fighting chance. 4 of the last 5. The second half is going to be no easier. Astralis looking strong here in the semifinals of IEM Katowice, and we'll find out if they're going to close it out when we return. Seven rounds is all Astralis needs to make it to their 3rd major grand final here in Katowice. Just 7 rounds away for brushing aside the danger of this Brazilian roster, which has built speed and momentum in this event so far, but it might just get stopped here. A really rough first half, and they must dig deep. This has to be a masterclass of a T-side for MIBR.
They have run into the juggernaut of Astralis. Dupree can count himself lucky. He's been dodging quite a few bullets here on Inferno. But no early casualty of war on either side. Some ground is being gained, though, by Furt. Not going to get peeked by Dupree. Happy to just stay on the balcony for the time being. Posturing back and forth. There's a lot of utility. Flashes, smoke, a couple of Molotovs. Taco, though, build on the approach and finished off. Molotov did go onto Graveyard. Phelps is gonna get one. Dupree with another jumping shot from Fallen. Are you serious? He certainly is. He's picked up a second. Gonna be baiting out, trying to draw a player into the open. Surely he's not going to Glaive as well. He spots Glaive, lands the headshot, and now Fallen has a fast track to the B side, but Zipex, this is where his experience, this is where his decision-making is going to be fully tested. Two huge brains of Counter-Strike going to duke it out to the bitter end. This would be an unbelievable clutch if Fallen pulled this out of the hat. He's done a bit of damage to Zipex. Both positions now known. Zipex has a kid in the smoke, close range. Going to be determining who takes this one away from their team. It's so important for MIBR, but Fallen is going to get denied. And Astralis can take the second pistol and a 10th round. Such a heroic attempt though from Fallen.
God bless. How do you beat Zipnix? What an absolute freak of a clutch human being. 10-6. Fallen did everything he possibly could. Those were some incredible shots to get into that situation. I feel like even pro players have to just hit tab and you see you're up against Zipnix and you just cry a little bit inside.
That internal scream, even a player of Fallen stature. Superb attempt, but just falls on the final hurdle.
Well, a hero buy comes out for MIBR. They passed the AK-47. Fallen able to afford that due to his kills and the help of the plant. Fur had the hot hand on overpass. He's going to take Boiler, peering towards lane. It's Dupree who would be first up, but Magisk is there as well with an angle if he needs to swing out wide. Can support in response. MIBR has to let this AK-47 do the work. They have no nades. They were reliant upon it. Look at that. Glaive Zipnix Phelps into an awkward situation. First still hasn't made his move. There's smoke to clear on Rap side. There goes Phelps through the smoke. Taco is hoping for someone to force Device into his crosshairs. First still hasn't made a move. 45 seconds left. They must start going forward. And Fur's going to be the point man leading up Rap side, waiting for the repeat. It would be huge. Dupree holding the angle. There he goes. Dupree now. Coldzera's he gets a kill, but there's nothing for him to build upon. Astralis now at 11, just 5 rounds away from the grand finals, where Ents, the Finnish Phenoms, await them.
Caused many an upset, but so far Astralis, they're digging deep and they're getting wins. However, MIBR are going to have a bye. Plenty of smokes to play with. Already seeing that the intent from Astralis is a lot more aggressive when it comes to Banana. But now they're against 4 rifles. Oh, a little bit more. That's a brilliant pick to start things off. Device caught with a grenade out. Just the lifeblood of Astralis is able to shun away one player. He will lose his life in the process, and MIBR still in great shape here around 18. They've got to convert this though.
It's going to be tough. He's going to love that. Look at Glaive getting aggressive, just enough damage. Chips away, lets the fire finish his work. And Dupree is now lying in wait. How does MIBR handle this situation? They have utility. They've got a minute to play with. Dupree is awaiting contact. It'll be Zipnix, though, who receives it first. Now rotates. He can't get away from that fight. He can't get away from the headshot. And that's going to open up. MIBR says, you're the B defender. We just picked you off in CT spawn. You're rotating over to help, so we're just going to take your bomb site for free. Dupree has nothing to do, and it's going to be a 7th. MIBR doing like a cliff session in this map, it feels. Great shot from Phelps. Astralis right on the verge of being able to buy, and if you have any indication of how they've handled their economy in previous games in this tournament so far, it'll be a very small investment. Upgrade to pistols, some utility. But with a lead of this stature, I mean, it's not anything too powerful, but with this lead of 4 rounds, They're going to be patient and wait till the guns and the nades are in their favor.
You absolutely don't force up and put your economy down the drain. Allow MIBR to be very close, breathe down your necks. So certainly the correct decision. Playing it for the longer haul rather than the here and now. Be pretty still with the Desert Eagle though, could do some damage. And he could see momentarily. There's one, able to duck away. Not able to retrieve the gun. Making sure they cannot pick that up, so Taco is going to take it away into mid. Meanwhile, they're applying pressure over on the B side of the map.
They're going to get re-aggressive in these halls. Taco's got to be careful. He's all alone. Meanwhile, Fallen and Phelps can start pressuring and peeking in towards this B bomb site. Fallen, that might prompt a response that Taco can take advantage of, but actually he does. Dupree goes out, he had the first shot, but Taco responds perfectly. Has found the AK-47 on the other side of the map. Meanwhile, Astralis is holding off this beacon. Phelps not able to contend with Zipnix, and Magisk, the snake in the grass. If he turns this around,
oh, no.
He is a goddamn champion. We'll see if he can do it, but they have him trapped. They know what's coming, Astralis. This is a chance.
Oh no, MIBR, they've lost Taco. That's information gathered. They're pincered, they're sandwiched between two very dangerous Danish lines. 15 seconds coming up on the time, they're going to be jumping up on the boost. They've stopped the bomb from being planted.
Oh God.
Fallen's going to have to try and hit down the plant now. But in doing so, rushing to his demise. Magisk is here. 4 seconds left. This is going to be the round to Astralis. How has this happened?
No other team can do that. No other team has the trust in their teammates. A USP, MIBR needs to find some courage because they got held off. They got delayed so long with AK-47s facing up against one USP and a second that rotates over late. I cannot believe that Astralis is able to stall them out in that fashion. And it's just so smart. Fighting during a retreat, just letting Magisk get closer and closer to have his impact, and MIBR fails to protect the plant from a boost. A series of mistakes for MIBR, and that was a chance for them to build so much momentum.
Yeah, it's especially devastating. That was their fast track back into Inferno. And it's just been completely derailed now. They're into a force.
That's a worrying sign that they played that round so scared.
Was that the round that sent the Brazilians sprawling out of the major and Astralis into the grand finals? Certainly a gut punch. Can MIBR recover? Phelps did spot a player but doesn't want to spray through the smoke, especially when he's one of the only two players with an assault rifle in his hands.
Well, there they are, desperately trying to get their team involved. MIBR backs against the wall, certainly now. AK-47 on Coldzera, AUG on Phelps, those are the rifles. The plan here, send bodies out of A-halls, try and take this over. They're gonna wait for the Molotov. Broncos all clear to throw his out. There's the smoke flashbang, maybe hoping that pit player will be forced out by the flames into the blind flashbang, but it's not gonna work. Magisk has played this to perfection. He's got the bomb down. Even blind, he gets a kill. Even with no vision. Fallen with one, but that's gonna be it. Phelps is coming in late with the backstab, and he's got a 1-on-2.
Has plenty of health. That grenade didn't do any damage. Just the wrong side of the wall, I'm assuming. Time mode to pull this one off. He's seen. I may just get knows where the second player is. Now it's in his favor, but Magisk is going to be able to drill through his head. And surprise, surprise, this man in the right position at the right time once again.
He is so good. He plays that pit spot perhaps better than anyone else. And 13-7, that performance there from Magisk, including the clutch, obviously. gives Astralis the red carpet for the grand finals. It's laid out. All they must do now is walk across it. 13-7, MIBR have nothing to fight with. They have no money. Just two upgraded pistols with no utility.
Truly terrifying times for MIBR. Their D half hasn't yielded much. Astralis gonna take the initiative and Zipex through the smoke. Get another kill. Didn't really expect much from this round. It was by and large Glocks with a Deagle. So far it's delivered nothing. Bit of damage to Glaze, but he's gonna be able to shrug that off. Showing the confidence, he actually pushes down. The gunfire was Zera is able to get one. Zipex will shut him down before he can get close enough to do anything about it. And there we have it, Astralis 14-7. This is it. It's do or die time for MIBR.
What a massive run they've got to go on. They've got to close this gap, and they've got to do it efficiently, and they're going to start out with a hindered investment into nades. Everything they possibly can bring forward, but Astralis is starting to get to that point where they can taste it. They're starting to get to that point where you can see how confident they are, the fights they take, the peaks they take, the positioning they utilize. Can MIBR stop this train from making it to the grand finals? Massive banana Burr is going to lead the way.
Oh my goodness, the damage with grenades spray through the smoke.
Combination, right? It's spray and safety, and somehow Flame still finds him in the smoke. So much damage. A kill and 19 HP on Burr. This is what MIBR never did to Astralis. Never made them work for his damage control. And Astralis is giving them a masterclass in return.
Astralis simultaneously flipping the kill switch, dulling all the senses for MIBR, but Taco regains his momentarily. Is at least going to pull it back to a 4-on-4. Plenty of time at their disposal. What they do with it, it's going to be a very interesting prospect, because so far Astralis have cut away everything that MIBR have thrown at them. Smoke planted down, waiting for a potential push. Narrowly off on the spray, they're all across the Archer's side. Now, neither of Astralis are over here, so the long-range skirmish could favor them, but of course, once again, the HE comes to their aid.
No, but MIBR is hesitating. This three-man pack went all the way to Rap side, never pushed up, and then they come all the way back to lane when their teammate has fallen. They have no idea how to get into this bomb site. 15 seconds on the clock, and one more time. This time he can't deliver the frag. They don't check it. They don't check anything. That's the bomb down, that's the round. He can't do anything, just some superficial kills at the end. And Astralis are going to be on series point.
Able to hold on to his AK at least, but they didn't expect the double stack. They got Magisk, one if not the best pit player in the world. But it was all about device. 2 huge kills, 8 match points to Astralis.
Ooh. The roller coaster of emotions on this big stage from Dupree. Well, it's time. Astralis generally does not wait around to close these games out, and Zipex gets them started again through the smoke. Why not? Fallen and shut down. And there's one more on top. Phelps tries his hand, and it's swatted aside as well. Astralis defense has been phenomenal. 6 of 7 rounds in this half. MIBR out of ideas, out of time.
It truly has been an impenetrable defense. Perfect utility, perfect timings, perfect calls. Across the board, Astralis have looked far superior. Glaive by himself gonna have Coldzera will get the upper hand. Maybe there's life yet in this Brazilian squad.
They don't have a smoke. They're going to have to fight for this cross. They just throw the bomb over to Coldzera, who's going to get that planted. MIBR staving off elimination, perhaps just a little bit longer. Now Astralis is rotating in. They're hurt on money. They might choose not to go for this. I think they're going to see if they can find a kill.
I think it's all about this first confrontation. If it doesn't go their way, they pull the plug. If it does, they go in. Magisk also making a move on Banana. So they have the rotation in effect. They have the flank coming in. In a flurry, a frenzy. Taco is watching. Angle gets the first, Magisk with a second. It's all down to third. They know where he is. He's going to get caught. And Astralis will move through potentially. He's going to be very close, actually. But I think they have the defuse. A masterful melding of skill, determination, and composure. A real symphony of Counter-Strike from Astralis.
They withstood everything on Overpass. Inferno was a cakewalk. Astralis 16-7, 2-0. They move on to those grand finals. The undisputed